is that every year only 20% of engineering graduates are women. Well, we're out at Wits Science Stadium to find out more about women in engineering, and I absolutely love the way they chose to stand out today in these neon pink hard hats.
A very hearty welcome to all of you for the WomEng Gauteng 2015 information session. Welcome, ladies.
I'm with Naidoo and Hema, who are from WomEng, but now there's also a GirlEng. So tell me why you felt the need to do both.
So where to start, right? So maybe Naidoo can tell you where WomEng started from, and I'll tell you where GirlEng propped up from.
So WomEng was actually where we started, and we started it as SA WomEng because we started it in South Africa, and it was really as a response as female engineers to start to create change within the engineering industry. So instead of sitting around and complaining about all the things that, you know, it's male dominated, blah 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 blah, we were over it. Let's do something about it, because we're engineers. That's what we do. We fix problems, and that's where WomEng actually was started. And WomEng actually has 3 different divisions that all speaks to building technical skills within the engineering industry. And so you can't start a skills pipeline without starting at the beginning.
So
A very good place to start, as they say.
yeah, right, very beginning, right? So that's just it, you know, having started at university level, we said we need to really tap into the talent pool at grassroots level. These girls, I mean, how many girls do you know who are putting their hand up and saying, yeah, I want to be an engineer? Both of us, for example, chose engineering for all the wrong reasons. But we were fortunate, we ended up loving it. But we didn't want other girls to have to take that risk or make those mistakes. So GirlEng came about purely to give information, because as much as we say we're living in the information age, Google's only as powerful as the question you put in, right? And if these girls don't even know to ask about engineering, they're certainly not going to get the answers.
Now, Naidoo, you've had a few rock star moments thus far. I mean, you were voted Forbes magazine top 20 young power woman in Africa. What does that mean to you?
So it was really surprising because I was just like, what? Forbes magazine? And then I was like, why not? We have done some amazing work at WomEng, and I think it's really a testament to that and our teams. We launched SA WomEng, which then became WomEng because we were doing some really great programs in South Africa. And then last year launched WomEng in Kenya. We're going to be launching WomEng in Nigeria, in the Middle East and Turkey. And so when Forbes said Africa, I could live up to that mantle and say, yeah, because we are changing the African continent by inspiring female engineers and creating engineering leaders on the continent.
So you mentioned the word mantle, and I'm hoping that both of your mantle pieces will be full of beautiful accolades in the future. And here's to not just surviving, but thriving. Libohang is actually a product of GirlEng, WomEng, and around about 2011, you came here on an ordinary day and you've actually now pursued your career of engineering full on. Tell us more.
In 2011, when I was in high school, that's when I was first introduced to GirlEng. The whole idea for me wasn't really to become an engineer. I wanted to study medicine. That was my first choice. So when I came here, I was like, let me just go and see what's going on, what's this engineering all about. And then I got here and I was so inspired by the ability of an engineer to think out of the box and how it's not just limiting you into one career, you know. Because when I was in high school, even though my heart was like, oh, you're gonna be a doctor, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I wanted to study something that would just open up my mind, and even though I have an engineering degree, I can still branch into something like working in a bank or being a consultant. Yeah.
Speaking of which, what do you think would be your preferred niche in engineering?
I think I would honestly prefer to, because I'm studying metallurgy and it has like the physical side of it and the extractive side of it. So as a junior engineer, I would like to work for a very big company to learn as much as I can. But the whole idea for me is just not to become a typical engineer, and in my 50s I'm still a typical engineer. I want to branch and have my own mine if possible, and have my own share in one of the biggest oil and petroleum gas company in Nigeria is. So that's the main aim. So, yeah.
Big plans, and I love it. And as a woman, I love it even more. All I can say is, here's to celebrating the rose amongst the thorns, or shall we say, engineers. goalposts are being moved, barriers broken, and obstacles conquered. This is Edge. Join us again next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Don't forget, you can find us on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and an all-important hashtag, EdEdge.